I am using the same product service application that we saw during beginning of this session. As a quick recap, this is a Spring Boot application that is running on Java 1.8. So the first step that we will perform is upgrade the Java version of this application from 1.8 to Java 17. As you may already be aware, version upgrades are not simple, as you will have to take care of upgrading the versions of all the dependencies and updating the code to the latest APIs. For this, we will use Amazon Q Developer, which is a generative AI assistant powered by Amazon Bedrock to assist us in the transformation activities. To begin with, I am using VS Code IDE and have installed Amazon Q extension. After you install the extension, you will need to authenticate this with your federated identity. Once this is set up correctly, you will see Amazon Q icon on the left side pane. We will use this to provide instructions for Q to perform transformation activities. You can ask any question to Q, be it general question or questions related to your specific code. It should be able to respond. For the common activities, Q also provides a list of actions that you can use. Since I have to transform the code from legacy Java to latest versions of Java, I will use the transform action. Since my project is active in my IDE, it is able to identify the current project, which is product service. It also understands the current version of Java code, which is in Java 1.8. It is also recommending to upgrade the code to Java 17. I have reviewed these actions and confirm to proceed with the transformation. To begin transforming your code, Amazon Q builds your project locally and generates a build artifact that contains your source code, project dependencies and build logs. After generating the build artifact, Amazon Q builds your code in a secure build environment and creates a transformation plan which is customized to the project or module you are upgrading. The transformation plan outlines the specific changes Amazon Q will attempt to make, including new dependency versions, major code changes and suggested replacements for deprecated code. These changes are based on preliminary build of your code and might change during the transformation. At this point, Q says it is ready to transform the code. The complete steps taken for transformation will be available in Transformation Hub within your IDE. Q has built the project locally and is now uploading the project to a secure environment. It will then build the uploaded code using Java 8 in a secure build environment. Q will then generate the transformation plan for your code. The transformation plan will be based on the instructions we provided earlier, that is, to upgrade the code to Java 17. So the transformation plan will contain all the steps Q will be performing to upgrade your code and dependencies to Java 17. Q has now started the transformation. In first step, it is updating the JDK version to 17 along with updating the dependencies and the related code. As you see on the right side, it has updated one dependency and added one new dependency. It has now successfully completed the build in Java 17. In the second step, Amazon Q is upgrading the deprecated code. And in the third step, Q is finalizing the code changes and will generate the transformation summary. And now the code transformation is completed by Amazon Q. We can now download the proposed changes made by Q and review them. If we are satisfied with the changes, we can accept them. As you see from the application code perspective, it has made changes to two code files. One is the pom.xml file and other is the products model class. Let's quickly review the changes made in the pom file. It has upgraded the Java version from 1.8 to 17. In line with the upgrades, Q has identified that this project is running older version of Spring that needs to be updated to. So Q has updated the Spring version from 2.x to 3.x. It has added a new dependency that's compatible with the latest version of the model class. It has also updated the version of Postgres driver to be compliant with Java 17. Q has also updated the product model class to use the new persistence API. As I am satisfied with the changes made by Amazon Q, I will accept them, and at this point Q will go and update my code base with the new changes. We have trusted Q developer with the upgrade process. We will now test the code as is and test if it is working as expected. Let me open my command line. I have set Java to 17. Let me compile the project and run the upgraded application locally. As you see, this is compiling successfully, and when I hit the same products API, it is still giving me the correct response. So till now, you have observed how simple it is to upgrade the Java application. The demo had a simple application, but your application might be a complex one. Still, the process remains the same. If you observe the code structure carefully, you will observe that there are no test cases. Many of the legacy applications do not have test cases, or their test coverage is very low. If your application is in a similar situation, do not worry. Amazon Q developer has you covered. It can generate the test cases for your specific code base. Let's generate the test case for this sample application. We will use the /dev action of Q and give a prompt to generate the test cases. It will first analyze the code base, understand your APIs, your service classes, and all the functionality you will be having to create plan for all the required test cases. If you see on the left pane, Q has provided the detailed changes to be made in the project for implementing test cases. It has observed the unit test dependency is missing in the POM file, and it has to be added. It's also giving the detailed instructions on the changes to be made and the test cases to be created. I would not go in detail, as I am sure you will go through them when you try it out yourself. But Amazon Q does not stop there. It does not expect you to make the changes manually. Q developer will in fact generate all the test cases that it is recommending for you. So I ask Q to generate the test cases. Q has now generated the test cases. I can review the changes it has made to the POM file along with the new test classes it has generated for me. When I am satisfied with the changes, I can ask Amazon Q to insert the new test classes into my project. So, in summary, we have now taken a step in addressing the technical debt in our code, which basically had no test cases and gone to a stage where the test cases are generated for all the business logic that I have in my application. That's a great step forward in maintaining the sanity of the application. We will now review the changes made by Amazon Q to introduce the test cases. It has added the dependency required for writing test cases in the POM file. It has generated two test classes, one for my controller and one for my service class. If you look at the test cases for the controller class, you would observe that it has analyzed the APIs, analyzed the models, and generated the test cases that would cover all possible scenarios. And the same applies for the services class too. We will now run the test cases to see if it actually works as is. As you would see, it has run the test cases for the controller and the services classes successfully. This is nothing short of a value add that we get when using the generative AI powered Amazon Q developer as our coding assistant.